The decoration in this house is really modern, really with a lot of fresh plants, fresh flowers. Most people, our fine dining restaurant is really a beautiful, cozy corner, I could say.
Most of my clients, in fact most of us in general, have a lot of clutter in our minds, and it's the clutter that often gets in the way of us obtaining what we want in life to make us happy.
New age, traditional, and intuitive. Internationally, Feng Shui represents different things to different people. I'm Stacey Monroe, and welcome to Feng Shui Life. Now, Feng Shui originated in the Orient, although there were some similar ideas in India. Quickly, it spread to Europe, and while in Germany, we found a first-class hotel that recognizes the benefits of this traditional practice. Here's our first story.
The Dorint Hotel at Messe in Cologne was started to build 1999, was opened 2000 in June. The staff feel very well here. We have very good guests. The client comes from all nations. We have very good comments from our guests. They feel very well, and the guests, they come very often to stay with us. The decoration in this house is really modern, really with a lot of fresh plants, fresh flowers. Most people, our fine dining restaurant is really a beautiful, cozy corner, I could say. As also you see here the hotel lobby. It gives a very warm feeling for the guests to come in, because through that we have living plants, no artificial plants at all in this house, and flowers. So the guests feel they are really warmly welcomed when they come in. The architecture is, we have wooden, we have marble, we have stone. We have different lights, low, high. We have a lot of modern furniture. We have really cozy corners so that the guests feel they are in a hotel, but they're not being disturbed. It's really privacy. I would say the energy here in this house is really good for the guest as well as for the staff who works here. It's really positive. Our bar, the Akanto, is open daily, 24 hours a day.
Here you go, sir.
As you see, our bar is open so that the guest from the lobby can have a look in, and the guest from the bar can have a look out for the lobby. The guests from the town as well as the guests from the hotel are always invited. They are always welcome to have a small short eat, drink, maybe before dinner, maybe after dinner. There's so much of energy here in this cozy, nice bar, so the guests feel they are really at home. It's a really beautiful place. There's a lot of wood, there's a lot of leather. It's really modern with the glass tables. And as you see the lamps, they give some kind of warm feeling. It's dark, but it's not too dark for the guest. And as you see, it's blue, black, and brown, the colors.
I wish you a nice time in our hotel.
We have 3 different restaurants in this hotel. First one is L'Adresse, the fine dining. It's only open on the evening. There are about 50 spaces for guests. The decoration is done with wall carpets, fresh flowers, fresh orchids. The food is prepared all over for all restaurants daily fresh. The L'Adresse, the fine dining restaurant, the decorations are black leather chairs. The tables are black painted. It's a very special vase that gives some warm feeling. The guests feel they are welcomed here. We have guests from hotel. We have also guests from town who comes for fine dining, and the restaurant is always very busy. The next restaurant is Bel Arthur. We have our breakfast and we have our lunch buffet. It's mostly for the guests here in hotel who have stayed overnight or who have meetings for all meeting rooms. The light and the decorations are really crazy, I could say, due to the fresh plants, and we have only fresh flowers on the tables. Then we have the winter garden. There's a very special decoration. They're kind of bamboos. It's put onto behind a glass vitrine. When it's in the evening, the light is on. It looks like an aquarium. And it's not dead plant, it's a living plant.
Stay with us. We'll have more from the Dorint Hotel a little later on in the show. Now it's time for our FSL question. If you could do just one thing to improve your feng shui, what would it be? Would you make your home more tidy and attractive? Would you decorate it with Asian trinkets? Would you buy a water fountain? Or would you hang a bagua mirror over your door? Phil has the answer at the end of the show.
In the last millennium, we've been very involved and concerned and focused on technology, science, medicine, very left-brain pursuits. And we've lost very much our humanity.
Welcome back. As you know, Feng Shui Life reports on what the masters and experts perceive Feng Shui to be. So, for your viewing and learning pleasure, we've compiled this visual montage.
I'm often asked why the Western world is so fascinated with Feng Shui and why it has become, or is becoming, quite popular. I think the wave is just forming right now, just beginning. We haven't reached the peak yet. And I think it's because in the last millennium, We've been very involved and concerned and focused on technology, science, medicine, very left-brain pursuits. And we've lost very much our humanity. I think many people in the world are spiritually impoverished. And there's a big hole in their lives, and they're seeking to fill it with something. And all of a sudden, it seems like they're rediscovered. We call it an Asian Renaissance. You see it in the movies, you see it in fashion, you see it in architecture, you see it in the foods and the culture. Asian culture is being very popular, even more than ever before in the United States and Europe, all over. Chinois is just the in thing, you know. And I think it's, people say, hey, you know, there must be something to this. It's thousands of years old and it's still around. And it brings comfort, it's intuitive, it's natural, it's holistic. It's a wonderful philosophy. Taoism is fabulous. I love it. I'm a Christian, but I believe so much in the balance of life and how we live in harmony and balance with our environments. If I could sleep outside, I would. I'm an avid camper and love being outdoors. I love traveling and being in different places. And I can sense and I can feel the different energies wherever I am. I've been in places that are just awful. Places where there were, oh, but that's another show. I'm very sensitive to that now. I can't have antiques in my house, or I cannot be around antique shops because I feel physically smothered. I can't breathe when I walk into an antique shop, so I don't even bother to look anymore. And I think that's why we're so fascinated with it. And people are still seeking, and just like in religion, they haven't found it in traditional forms of religion. So now they're seeking alternative philosophies, and it resonates with many people.
As an intuitive interior designer and practicing that way, I was teaching a class for many years called How to Create a Home for Your Heart. And one of my students was a Feng Shui practitioner. So I did a very quick study on Feng Shui that summer, and quite honestly, my students really taught me as well. So Feng Shui found me, and invariably also lots of articles have been written about Feng Shui, and they call me. And so Feng Shui is always kind of, I think I have some kind of weird karmic connection actually with Feng Shui. It's always kind of following me around, and I'm at this point going along with it and saying yes to it, and it's been deepening for me in my life over the last 7 or 8 years.
I've always been interested in metaphysical topics, and I've also always been interested in healthy lifestyle choices. And this was a combination of the two, looking at someone's environment, seeing how they're impacted by it. And I was amazed that Feng Shui was such a predictable art and natural science where we could identify this is the kind of environment where people have this kind of result. And as I studied it and as I practiced with it over the years, I found it to be extraordinarily fascinating, accurate, and helpful to people to improve their lives.
Most of my clients, in fact most of us in general, have a lot of clutter in our minds, and it's the clutter that often gets in the way of us obtaining what we want in life to make us happy. And so much of what I do, in fact, is uncluttering, helping to unclutter the mind, and helping the clients to see how many of their thoughts are very extraneous thoughts that really get in the way of their happiness. So I think that Feng Shui is really an excellent model that has many applications actually, not only in terms of space, physical space, but in terms of mental space as well.
I use Feng Shui principles as part of the design. Because of my multicultural background, it's not only a European education, it's not only an Asian philosophical background, It's not only sort of being born and bred in America. So it would be hard for me to say that I solely use Feng Shui to generate my designs, but I do consider it. I'm very interested in the Tao Te Ching, Lao Tzu's book, as well as the I Ching.
Parents and relatives always talk about, and tradition always talk about, especially in the old days, a family who has money, they would buy the mountain. They would, after they bought the mountain, before they die, they want to move this mountain so they can bury their body there. So everything has to be the right, then there's a waterfall, there's a 1,000-year-old tree on the next to the, all those things. When you grow up with those things, at first it's like, who cares? If you're dead, you're very dead. But it's not only about death too. It's for people who, for the living people.
Some people say it is an art of placement. Well, it is not that simple, because this is too artificial placement. It is actually the study of how to get the benefit of qi, that is to be retained by water and carried by wind. That is the positive aspect. A more defensive aspect will be how to stop the qi from being dissipated, from being dispersed by wind, and how to collect it by the presence of water.
To find out more about these past guests, log on to our website at fengshuilife.tv. Once again, the FSL question. If you could do only one thing to improve the feng shui of your home, what would you do? Make your home tidy and attractive, decorate with Asian trinkets, buy a water fountain, or hang a bagua mirror on your door. You'll have to stay with us for the answer.
Where else do you have your kitchen staff?
They all will come to me.
Hugging the housekeeping manager. You saw it yourself here.
There must be good energy.
There must be some good energy in this house.
It is said that traditional Feng Shui is as old as paper, and black sect Feng Shui is as old as computers. Well, if you are surfing the net, check out our website for archived information and links to some great resources. Okay then, as promised, here's part 2 of Germany's Doran Hotel.
Feng Shui is one of the very important steps of this hotel. When it was built also, one of the managers, because she's very interested in, and she's also a bit well versed in this Feng Shui. She had a couple who came in and saw where the energy goes out from this house and where the energy comes in. I feel this hotel has a good energy. Normally when I go somewhere, when I come into the house, if it's private or officially, I should feel welcome. And I felt it here. And most of the guests, they say they feel really welcome. My personal favorite is the lobby and the restaurants. My personal. That's the first step the guests come in, the first thing they see. For the hotel business, it's very important that the guest should have a warmly feeling welcome when they enter, when the come into the hotel from the lobby or from the restaurant. So we hotel people take good care in that the lobby and the outlets look good and warm for the guest so that they come back. Our spa, one of the beautiful ones in town. We have a very nice saltwater swimming pool. One that I know, or the only one that I know, it's black plated. And there are some kinds of stars inside. It looks really beautiful. We have a nice ice well, they call it, ice well. There's ice blocks on it. It looks also really good. We have the hammam massage, called to the Turkish way. We get the beauty farm, cosmetic. And we also have a very beautiful whirlpool. I could say, if you like to feel well, homely, warm, welcomed, my staff, we do our very best for our guests. Just come in, have a look, stay overnight, feel well, and feel at home. And most of the staff, they say, they believe in that. Where else do you have your kitchen staff hugging the housekeeping manager?
They always come to me. Always.
Das ist für dich.
Nein, das ist für dich. Ich bin da oft genug.
You saw it yourself here.
There must be good energy.
There must be some good energy in this house.
If anything at all, we here at Feng Shui Life love reporting on how Feng Shui is handled all over the world. All right, let's see how you did on today's FSL question. If you could change only one thing to improve your Feng Shui, what would it be? Make your home tidy and attractive, decorate your home with Asian trinkets, buy a water fountain, or hang a bakwa mirror on your door. Well, my friends, good chi is like you and me. If you give it a tidy and attractive place to live, that's where it will stay. And if it stays, good chi brings good health and happiness. Thanks for watching.
Please refer to your manuals.